Hi guys, 98 here. Uh, so this video is going to be a little different. First things first, it's going to be open to all. Unlike the other videos that I've made, this isn't going to be me talking directly to the Alliance. This is going to be more me talking to Scopely itself, and this is some of the criticisms and feedback that I would offer to Scopely about their in-game store. Now, there is going to be a value guide kind of attached here. Some of the things that I would buy versus wouldn't buy, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, but I want you guys to understand that when you get out. Um, so really, if you agree with what I have to say about the games and some of the criticisms that I have for Scopely, then please share the video. Give it to as many people as you want. Share the link. Give it a thumbs up, I guess. I don't really need a subscription. I'm really not that interested in a YouTube career per se. I'm not going to monetize this video. So it's really just kind of let's get out there, see if we can spread this thing far and wide to see if eventually Scopely can see it and we can uh, we can kind of move forward together as a game and try to improve the game to be next level, to get away from the sort of mobile stigmatization that has kind of plagued mobile games just in general. Okay. Um, so before I go into the story itself, I kind of want to talk more a little bit about myself and my credentials and why I should even criticize a video game just to begin with. Um, and what kind of, I guess you could say, street cred I have in terms of the gaming community and all that kind of stuff. My first thing is really let's talk about Star Trek, where I fit in with Star Trek specifically. And I've been watching Star Trek since I was about 3 years old. I used to sit on my father's knee and we'd watch, it's one of our nightly things when I was 3 or 4 years old. I would watch Star Trek The Next Generation with him every night before going down to bed. Okay. Um, and I've been a fan of, I'm more of a fan of the Next Generation series than I am of the original series. Now, that's not to say that the original series or Kirk, versus Picard is better. Really, it's more of a cultural thing, as it is with most other people. I found out, you know, very early, long time ago when I first joined my alliance, I'm actually kind of a young gun when it comes to most of these other players. I'm 35, middle aged, and uh, you know, while I didn't grow up with this original Star Trek, and the original Star Trek didn't speak to me culturally because I wasn't alive during those years. Let's just be honest here. I was born in 1986 or 1984, sorry, and um, so I'm a young gun really in terms of what most of my alliance is, and you've really kind of captured the older audience with this game because, well, the original Star Trek spoke to the whole cultural revolution of the civil rights movement, all that kind of stuff. Whereas Next Generation spoke more to my generation culturally in terms of, optimism for the future and, philosophy and all the kind of stuff that's in the Next Generation series that I grew up with. Okay. Now, I don't have anything against the original series by all means. I don't think Picard is the superior captain or anything like that. But, um, you know, that's where I am in terms of what I know about Star Trek lore. I've seen all of the original series. I've seen Next Generation. I've seen Deep Space Nine. I've seen all of Voyager. I have seen Star Trek Enterprise. I have watched all of the CBS content. I've watched all of the new J.J. Abrams style movies in the new rebooted universe. And I've seen pretty much everything when it comes to Star Trek lore. I've seen the new Picard series. So, it's a lifelong fandom. And that's how I fit in to the Star Trek universe. As far as where I can criticize games, I've been gaming since the early 90s. Since 1991, I've been gaming. My very first game was a flight simulator on the Apple IIe, where everything was loaded with 5 1/4 floppies. And um, so I've been gaming for a very, very long time. And I've had games that I have played for decades, years. Okay, games like the original EverQuest I played for about 4 years. StarCraft. Sorry, I played for nearly 2 decades, 20 years. I still do play it on occasion to this day. Um, I played Star Wars Galaxies for about 12 years. I played EVE Online for almost 12, 14 years. Okay. So I'm the kind of guy that plays games for the long term. Okay. I do have the short term games that I play every now and then, but when I get into a game, I really get into a game. And I am not afraid at all to spend money in any of those games. If they offer a microtransaction sort of monetization, then by all means, I'm going to spend some money on a game. Um, and now EVE Online's was like a subscription thing. $15 a month, you're subscribed, and you pay that every month to keep playing the game. And same thing with like World of Warcraft. I played World of Warcraft for about 6 years. Okay, so I'm kind of a big nerd when it comes to games, and I've seen so many different designs that I know what works and I kind of know what doesn't. Okay, because it's my passion, if you would. And as far as design itself, I'm a designer. I do have a bachelor's degree in drafting and design. I've started out my career as a designer. These days, I'm more of a developer, a software engineer of sorts. Right now, I'm working front end website development. So, I've got a lot of credentials when it comes to my professional life as well. It's kind of the gaming kind of has spilled over into that sort of tech interest and all that kind of stuff. So, I do promise you that I know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm while keeping a level head on things, I'm not the end all be all word on this because I believe that everything should be a sort of collaborative project because there's going to be things that I see that other people or things that I won't see that other people will be able to see. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about the in-game store. Okay? So, we'll go to the store in-game here. Okay. So, we're right now kind of in the middle of a flavor of the month branch. And the flavor of the month stuff has been annoying me the last couple months with the Borg stuff and now the Outlaw stuff. And it's just one flavor of the month to the next flavor of the month. It kind of reminds me of the Star Wars Galaxy that made me stop playing Star Wars Galaxy. With the next flavor of the month would be this. They're going to upgrade this class. As an example, and that would be the flavor of the month. So that being out of the way, that being said, there is some credentials to purchasing the flavor of the month every month, and there's some value there. Just be careful. As far as the battle pass stuff goes, the access being $20 to get in, I think that that's right on the money. And what I'm going to say here, Scopely, specifically, is that I don't think that you shouldn't make money on your game. Just the opposite. I think that it's a business. The only way you're going to be able to sustain it is to truly make money on the game. Okay? Really, your in-game store should be focused on monetizing things that give value to the player. Okay? And understanding what that value is. Throwing up a bunch of $100 packs as an example isn't so much doing value other than just throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing what sticks. Okay? And that's part of what annoys me about the in-game store. And also one of the reasons why I'm fervently free to play and not purchasing things from your store, because I have no compunctions about purchasing things in a game, okay, or purchasing a game outright even. But let's just start by talking about the price of your packs, okay? So, $100, fine, okay. think of it this way: a AAA title, okay, costs $60, $59.99 on average. Okay, they might come out with a DLC later that's another $20 or something, so you end up spending about anywhere between $60 and $80 on a AAA title. These are the Grand Theft Autos, the Call of Duties, the um, Last of Us, all of those kinds of games that offer generally right around 30 to 60 hours of play and often have a multiplayer aspect attached to them that's really popular and all this kind of stuff. And it's story driven, it's well written, the textures, you know, throw just throw Scopely against the wall in terms of what they can do with their textures, and the technology is there, and it doesn't look like it was done by a junior artist or something like that. Okay, but all that being said, it's nothing wrong with the textures and the overall look of the game that I think in game. In fact, I think your UI is very good, and what you have going on and the very core mechanics of your game are very good. Okay, there's just a few touches there that I would talk about, and I will talk about that in another video. Okay, however, okay, looking at the cost of a AAA game being $60 for one thing in your store, you want $100. Okay, and let's skip this stuff and let's go straight to the ships. Okay, these are the things that would be probably the most attractive for a customer to buy. Okay, the USS Saladin's probably one of the strongest ships in the game. You need a level 28 shipyard to get, and it's $100, $100 pack, $99.99. Okay, you get 15.5K. You get half of a Saladin. You get about 25 million in titanium, 10 million tokens, and all that kind of stuff. So in order for you to kind of skip the grind of the content for the USS Saladin and just have the ship and start upgrading it immediately, you need to buy this twice. So what you're saying is that the USS Saladin blueprint or the USS Saladin is worth about $200 in game. Wow. $200. Okay? That's a car payment. Am I getting a car? I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm trying to make my point very clear. You know, it's a low-end car, sure, but that's a car payment. You do this once a month. Whoa. Okay. And I get it. A good majority of your folks are out there, and all that, but you're already just for half of a Saladin asking for $40 more than a AAA title, and you're not delivering anywhere near AAA title quality. So, understanding what you have, and then adding value to it. Really, if this pack was $19.99, even with nothing else changing, you only get half a Saladin for $19.99. $40 for a Saladin, not bad. I'd buy it. I'd buy this pack in a heartbeat if it was $40. $40 to get the Saladin and have to skip the grind and all that kind of stuff. Sure. If I really didn't want to have to worry about it, there you go. Okay, that's what it would take for me to buy this pack. Drop the price. Now, one of the things that has been going around the community right now is that you've been having issues with the store, and Revdeuce has been bringing it up with the prices being the same, but you getting less value out of your packs on newer servers. And I understand where that sentiment comes from, and I think it does come from a good place, Scopely, because you're trying to not let the wells run away with the game like they did on the earlier or the older servers. Okay, and not everybody's going to play multiple servers. I play on one server 32. Okay, so I don't really care what happens to other servers. Okay, and I get why you're doing it, but you should drop the prices along with it, or just leave everything the same and drop the prices. Really, the price structure that you should have, since this is a microtransaction kind of design, is maybe 5, 10, and $20. Okay, and then when it comes to ships like this or toys that players can play with, the high value items like the Saladin, Mayflower, their faction ships, maybe charge a little bit more for those. And there's a fine line for that kind of stuff. You know, but you know, and I'm sure that your team over there can kind of decide where that sort of fine line is, or maybe not. Based on the pack prices right now. I don't know. Maybe you need to hire a better marketing team, or get one just in general, because I don't really understand where these prices are coming from. And I get it. You're not the only game that does this. Pretty much every mobile game has $100 pack. You buy $100, you get all this crap, and that's what is the big stigma about mobile games in general. And you're not doing anything at all to sort of counteract that by continuing this trend. Okay, gaming community as a whole kind of despises mobile games, except for maybe Pokemon Go. You know, and you can look at the way they monetize their game. Download the app, look at their store, see how much everything costs. And kind of look at that. But really, I'm going to show you what's wrong with the value in this pack. So in this pack, you get for $100, you get let's ignore the Saladin, let's ignore the minerals and all that kind of stuff, and let's just boil it down to Latinum. Okay, Latinum is one of the more powerful resources in the game, and it kind of adds a currency in a universe there isn't a currency. Which was how it was with the Star Trek universe in the first place. And you get 15,500 Latinum for $100. And if you come down here, all the way down to the end, and I think you put it all the way down the end because you hope that people don't really notice it, you have another $100 pack here, which is Vault of Latinum, where you only get 2,000. So this kind of is confusing for me, Scopely, because here for $100, and ignore the Parstill, okay? Parstill is useless, especially 200k. That's nothing at my level. So I'm going to spend $100 for 2,000 Latinum. So that's what, about $2 for every, or 2 Latinum for every $1 I give you. And then I come down here, back down to the other end, and I look at the flavor of the month stuff, or the research pack, the outlaw research, and I get 21k, and that's the Latinum by itself is worth 1/10 of a penny. I think that's how the math is going to work out. So that's how I know you don't really have a firm grasp or concept on what things are worth in your store, and you just kind of throw things in to the mix to try to sell it. That's what I mean by spaghetti throwing. You're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. And honestly, you shouldn't sell things that skip your in-game content. That's kind of counterintuitive to what you do. And that's because you've designed the game to be sort of half active and half idle, and you don't really have to worry about idle versus active. You want to engage player. You should design a game for player engagement. That's the purpose of playing a game, just in general. That's game design 101. Okay, you want to engage your players. You don't want them to be unengaged. Okay, and you don't want to sell packs that skip content. So honestly, all 3 of these packs, Alliance, skip them. Not worth it. I mean, if you really want to buy them, go ahead. Prime Augment Favor, go for it. Decent. You get 1,000 4-star material to get Prime Augment Favor from the research tree, and it's just skip them. Why skip the content? Just grind it out. Have fun grinding it out. If that's not fun, then yeah, buy it. If skipping the in-game content is worth it to you, then buy it. Okay, but I wouldn't spend $100 on this, not even a little bit, on any of these. Okay, same with the Crucible Award stuff. Skip it. You get more Tritanium. But the 3-star uncommons. I mean, what's the point? You know, that's not nearly enough to do anything. Okay, uh, all these ship blueprints, grind them out in your Alliance store. You don't need them. You're gonna have to spend. You know, you get $100 here, you get a full tier, first tier. That's but your second tier is you only get half the ship for $100, $200. They're asking you for $200. Understand they're asking you for $200 and give it more value. And skip all of these packs. The North Star. Now this is a pack that's a little different. Okay. And I really kind of want to touch on the North Star because if you're level 16, 18, you know, you're under 24, you're under level 24, and you're thinking about purchasing something in the game, the North Star is not a bad investment for $20. Okay. Um, it's kind of, it's one of those packs that, yeah, you know, I would purchase if the game was designed better. However, here's Scopely. Here's something that I think you should raise the price on, given a few conditions. Okay. One, make the North Star an actual miner. Don't change anything about its PvP stats. It's fine that it gets used for PvP. Okay. That's all well and good. But if you gave it something that was capable of carrying, you know, let's say 100K in, or kept the mining rate that it has and could have 30K protective cargo, you know, 30, 40K protected cargo, I would say that the North Star at that point would be worth $40, you know, 39.99, and that's raising the price of the North Star, okay? Because if you made it an actual miner with the mining rate it had for for 3-star materials, then it would be worth it, okay? But you can put all of the miner officers on the ship and end up with what, 3K protected cargo at tier 7. That's not really worth it, okay? You can sit on the 2600 nodes and not have to worry about things and be done blowing, blasting through them in an hour. But, you know, being able to put them on an 18K node, that's something that would be beneficial, okay? That's something that would give players an advantage and build value in the North Star and allow you to charge more for the North Star than you currently do. So the reason it is $19.99 right now is because the value is for whales to pick on lower players who haven't realized that, hey, if they spend $20 on the North Star when you have it up in store, that you can get a bigger advantage over the lower level or free to play players. So stop designing the game, stop designing your store, stop designing your packs around whales, start designing them about trying to attract free to play players to pay money in your game and give them value in their packs. And that is at the core of what I think Rev Deuce is saying about your packs and all that kind of stuff on other servers. But just add value to what you're offering and people will buy, and you can turn the free to play players into make a purchase every once in a while players. Okay. um, you would turn me into somebody who would spend money on your game because I have no compulsion against buying something in a game. Okay. I just don't buy pixels in a badly designed game. The Latinum Miner, the Devore, $20. I constantly look at this pack and it pisses me off. Okay, because you do have a route to get this ship for free in game. Okay, and I'll show you that route actually. Better to show than tell. If you, where would it be? Oh yeah, that's right. Come in here to your containers and you go to 30-day loyalty pack. You get 10 Devore blueprints every time you save for 30 days. And it takes 120 Devore blueprints to make the Devore for free. Okay? So what you're saying, since this is a 30-day loyalty chest, you can get one every 30 days if you complete your dailies on time, every time, for an entire year, 365 days for an entire year, you can have the advantage that somebody who pays $20 and gets the Devore in your store. So, what are you saying about my time here? You're saying that my time in game as a free-to-play player is completely worthless. And that really gets my blood boiling. Okay? Because if it takes a year to free-to-play grind out the Devore to have a Latinum miner that takes premium stuff to upgrade, that takes a lot to upgrade, and, you know, get things moving, and leaving everything else aside, you know, why would it take a free-to-play player a year to grind out the Devore? And maybe, you know, I start getting 20 as I get level higher. You guys tend to do stuff like that, but I have no resource that tells me otherwise. So as far as I know, the Devore takes a year to grind out. A year. Wow. A year is worth $20 to you, Scopely. A year of your player's time is worth $20. You've put a number on your customer's time. Okay? That's something you want to avoid. Skip it. Okay? The Latinum miners all well and good. Okay? But you should really kind of focus on getting Latinum from events and you know, trying to compete for those Latinum events, and that's how I get my Latinum. As you can see, I've got 601 Latinum. That's not really a lot. That's because I'm constantly spending it to continue to upgrade. Okay, the Franklin's a sort of a pain point for me. Skip the Franklin. You don't need it. Focus all your grinding. If you're free to play, focus all your grinding on the Mayflower. Once you have the Mayflower or even the Vaklas, you can do what the Franklin does and still have something else besides just something that can kill swarms. So $19 for the Franklin is not worth it. You know, $20 for the Franklin, not worth it. Skip it. You'll thank me later, and, you know, enjoy your Vaklas, enjoy your Mayflower, you know, or enjoy your Centurion if you really want to wait that long. Okay. But the Franklin, all it does is swarms, and it's unlike any other ship here, okay, except for the Devore, which all it is for is mining Latinum, okay. The North Star is for PvP, 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 PvP. The actual enjoyment in the game. These packs right here have more value than the Franklin pack. One, because that's only half the Franklin blueprints. You have to buy this twice to get a full Franklin. So understand that. They're asking $40. Skip it. Not worth it. Okay? All of these, prime repair cost, prime repair speed, prime research, prime officer, prime defenses. All of these $100 packs here, with the exception of maybe the prime officer, skip. Now, the prime officer might be worth it because, one, it takes 100 rare 4-star to get, and this box right here gives you such a huge advantage in the game. It's ridiculous. Okay, and it gives you a decent amount of 3-star. This one has some serious value. Now, Scopely, for your sake, I would maybe charge $50 for this, not 100. Okay, because this is just a square in the research, and it's got a good long-term investment in the game. You know, you offer it at level 20, and go forward, and you get the prime officer research. It's $50. These prime piercing, prime repair speed, prime research costs, all this kind of stuff. You have speed ups in this game. You have speed ups for the specific reason to put a band-aid on the player inactivity of your game. Not worth it. Not worth it. Not worth it. Okay. All they do is sit here to give players a chance to pay to win. That's all this is. Pay to win. Pay to win, pay to win, pay to win. Okay? And if you really care about winning, buy it. Whatever. You know, I wouldn't continue to give Scopely money because I don't really like pay to win models. But I guess go for it if you want. As far as prime hole research, this is 3-star uncommon. You can very easily get this. I got this for free easily. I never purchased it. Don't spend your money. Okay? Build speed, shields, all this stuff is 3-star uncommon, very easy to get in game as it currently sits. Just save your money. Skip them. Ultra ship, ultra station, ultra research pack. Skip. The ultra ship pack, one because of the controversy that Rev Deuce is kind of talking about, is a good mention. But honestly, remember, Scopely, microtransaction platform. Really, this wouldn't be too bad if this pack was $20. Not changing anything about it. $20. Okay. Um, these officer packs, maybe, might be worth purchasing. Mostly because of this. These 3 things right here, these badges, allows you to max your officers. And that's another big advantage in the game. Because officers are such a big advantage in the game. The 25k Latinum's nice. Federation credits are always nice. 10k Ultra Recruit tokens are also nice. And the 8,000 Premium, cool. Doesn't really give me enough 3-star material. Really, I'd triple that for $100. Officer XP, don't really need, but, you know, it's there if you want it. And, you know, so I would, Scopely, this pack should be maybe 30, okay? Because you want to keep content driving in the game, okay? You don't want to have somebody go, oof, $100, ouch, okay? And that's really what I do every time I see these, you know, faction specific, okay? The reason that I would kind of say that these are okay because of these command badges, but Ultra Recruit tokens, it's kind of whatever. Keep an eye on whenever they stuff a pack. As an example, let's look down here. Like, here's a $50 pack, half that. Great. For officers, you get 1 5-chest pull. That's it, of Ultra Recruit. And keep in mind that Ultra Recruit tokens only give you access to the kind of bog standard officers, okay, that everybody has and everybody's grinding to. So you don't get Khan. You don't get Harrison. You don't get half the officers in this game. You know, if you look in your officers tab, you don't get the grays because those are just commons. You get all of the greens, or not all of the greens. You get all the blues and all of the epics. Okay, with the exception of the ones that you really want. So, you know, Darwin had. Where are these officers from? Why are they in the game? I've never seen cards for them. If there's a mission to get them, I've never seen it. I don't know if it's old content. You don't get any of the Borg officers. Okay. You know, you don't get any. Well, with the current pack and event going on, you do get some of these new officers, but those will go away just like everything else. You don't get Harrison. You're not going to get Tal. You're not going to get any of these 10 of 10, 5 of 10. You're not going to get Khan. You're not going to get 6 of 10. You're not going to get Epic Jyla. Right now, you're not getting Mud. You know, so keep that in mind. Okay. What are you purchasing there? You're not purchasing the desirable or a chance for the desirable officers like Harrison or uh, Khan or Jyla or 5 of 10, 6 of 10, or 10 of 10. You know, all of those really powerful officers that give you sort of an edge, you don't get to buy. Okay. Now that might change in the future, and Scopely, I would definitely recommend changing that. Put them in with the regular packs, just like everything else. That way, the value in purchasing these goes up. Okay. Deliver value, deliver value, deliver value, deliver value. Okay. Um, all of these are moda packs. Really, you want people to buy content for your game. You want people to be able. You want people to buy content in your game. That's worse than EA, and you do not want to be EA. Okay. Um, shield packs, skip them. Buy from the Alliance store. Okay. Um, Vault of Latinum, Cargo Bay of Latinum. Never purchase this. This is a complete waste of money. For $50, you get 1,000 Latinum. What the hell? Vault of Latinum, you get 2,000 Latinum. What the heck? For $100. Skip those. So really, we're boiling down to what I would buy if Scopely designed the game a little better. I might purchase a flavor of the month every now and then. I will get the ships. I would get the North Star. The Franklin and the Latinum miner, the Devore. Maybe. I might get the Devore. I would skip the Franklin. All of these, with the exception of prime researches, I would skip. I just wait till I can grind them, or just deal without the advantage. Now these Galaxy Research packs, I didn't really talk about this one. This doesn't give you enough 3-star uncommon. Really, you should be enough to complete the Galaxy Research and get some little extra to kind of keep you replenished and keep you upgrading your ships and stuff. This stuff down here is kind of pointless, and 5,250 Latinum is really not enough for a pack of this price. These $20 packs, don't even bother. They don't give you enough of anything, and you can very easily grind it out. Just fill that square in your tech tree. Skip all of these $100 packs. The officer packs, I'm kind of on the fence about. But if they were less in cost, be like maybe $30 per pack, they might be worth it at that point. But at $100, they're not. So at $100, no, don't buy. Wouldn't recommend. Armada stuff. I mean, if you really want to pay for if you really want to promote Scopely making content in the game that is only accessible if you purchase it, that's if you support that, buy it. If you don't, skip it. Upgrading your Armada Control Center, skip it. Just get with your Alliance and grind it out the old-fashioned way. That's content that you're playing. Skip all of this. Skip the Peace Shields. So really, there's less than a handful of things that I would purchase that I would consider has enough value. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you something that is done that I think is monetization done correctly, and you have to kind of understand where this all comes from. Okay, this is World of Tanks. Okay, this is a game that I've played for 6-7 years. Okay, at this current point, and I don't have any problems buying from Wargaming. That's because they've actually got value in their packs. Now, they have their own set of criticisms, don't get me wrong, okay? However, you actually get something out of actual value in the game. It's what I kind of like about the Battle Pass thing that you guys are currently doing. The $20 Battle Pass pack, completely worth it, okay? Absolutely, and I would purchase it if I thought the game was going to be something that I was going to play in the truly long term. Okay, but right now I currently don't, and that's kind of unfortunate because I do kind of like the game. Okay, But, they offer a different scale for different prices based on kind of what you want in terms of pricing. You've got your featured tanks. You get actual, think of these like ships, okay? You get your actual tanks. You get your premium resources. You get a premium account. You get your vehicles, and then you have your specials that are various different things that give you different advantages in the game. Some are tanks. Some are like, fast track to fast up the tech tree. And, some are just golds and gold and silver and stuff like that to help kind of pay for resources and stuff in game. Okay. But you can see, hey, they're asking $120 for this pack. So you can demand those prices. You can demand the $100 prices, but you have to pack it full of value. If you don't do that, then you're going to lose out. The other thing that I have an issue with is your website. As I said, I'm doing front end development right now, but I am surprised that this website is currently up because almost the entire page is a lie. Okay. And it's so basic and everything. When you just click on Star Trek Fleet Command, you get this. You can go to games and you can see the other games that Scopely makes, but you click on Star Trek Fleet Command, and it's role play and strategize with an entire galaxy of characters and ships. Okay, not really, kind of stretching the truth a little bit, but not really a lie. Okay, but you come down here and you say you have the con. Customize your ship. How are you customizing your ship? I mean, upgrading your modules in game? Is that what you're considering customization? Because that's not what I consider customization. I just call that leveling. Recruit your crew, including Kirk and Spock. Okay, fine. Yeah, you can do that. Engage in epic fleet battles. There's no fleet combat other than the Armada stuff. And is that epic? No. you know, experience the Enterprise in augmented reality. Now, I don't know if that's a future feature that you're working on, but I have no idea how you would experience the Enterprise in augmented reality. Okay, but hey, if it's there, it's there. I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen hide nor hair of what the Enterprise looks like in augmented reality. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're when you're posting stuff like that online. I'm watching and I'm trying to help you, Scopely. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't make money off your game, okay? But you should cater to the smallest common denominator, not cater to the largest common denominator. Somebody's got $25,000 to spend on a game, or even, hell, your store right now, on average, to have the same advantage as some of the bigger whales on the server, you would need to spend an average of about $2,500 in the game. That's a pretty significant chunk of change. And I don't understand that. That's like 300% the cost of a AAA title. And I'm not saying don't make that kind of money out of the, and I'm not saying you can't make that kind of money out of a player. By all means, you can. But if you're not delivering value, justifying the $100 price tag is going to be incredibly difficult. Okay, and Scopely, just keep that in mind. Okay, if you want to turn a customer like me into a paying customer, then you have to make packs that are more economically accessible. That's a good start. If you're going to offer a true advantage in the game, then think about the price range that you're looking at. Give a value, an actual monetized value to every single item you have in your game, and don't muddle or mix those values. Okay, so if Latinum is a certain cost per dollar, then make it a uniform cost per dollar. Same with any 3-star common, speed ups, anything else that you put in a pack. They should have an actual dollar amount figured, and it should be uniform across every single pack in your game, across every single server. Okay, because that's how you're getting yourself into some trouble and some controversy right now. Okay, is you don't have a uniform value for anything. Okay, everything's just kind of up in the air. We're going to throw a whole bunch of $100 packs at something, and we're going to see what sticks, and we're going to make money off of it. And Scopely, I understand that you're making quite a bit of money on this game, but you can't create a game that's copy and paste mobile game, which is what this is. There's some unique elements here, but for the most part, the core mechanics are copy and paste. Pretty much every other mobile game on the planet that is kind of like this, any strategy game, anyways, or base building or leveling game, is very, very similar to this. You can go and download, State of Survival or any of the other mobile game topics that are get advertised all the way across your Reddit feed, your Facebook feed, all those kinds of things. Any of those are strategy. You're going to see a very similar design to this. Okay, and Star Trek, the Star Trek name is going to carry you far. Okay, but if you don't want to piss off fans and you want to be an actual memorable Star Trek game and you want to break the mold and the stigma of mobile games, you've got to break out of that sort of mold and experiment with your money and be an actual business that is going to deliver value. You know, I sold cell phones for Verizon for a few years. I was pretty good at it. And the only thing that sold phones was if I could build the value of that phone. Okay? And it wasn't anything else. Okay? So, just keep that in mind. Delivering value to your players, especially in a game that is free to download, free to own, and free to play. If you want to turn the free to play customers into the maybe make a purchase every now and again college customers, and you want to actually monetize that customer base, make your store more appealing to that free to play player base, and stop designing the game around the whales. Ignore the amount of money the whales are going to spend. They're going to spend that money on you either way. Okay, and maybe offer them a premium pack or something like that. You know, along down the road that's going to cost them $100 if you want. But I feel sorry for the guys who have kind of spent that much money on this game because in my eyes they're getting cheated, and I want to put a stop to that because I like this game. Because Scopely, all of your actions, everything that you do with every update and every bug and all of the stuff that's in this game is you alienate the player, you create a bigger gap. You have the poor free-to players, the little tiny guys that are struggling, and then you have the massive whales who aren't being challenged because they have everything and every advantage in the game, and all they can do is just pick on the young guys. And all that does is make probably more based on the way my alliance has been and my experience has been in this game I've been playing since November 2019, is you alienate the free-to-play players. You have no middle class. The middle class, that a good majority of that middle class that does kind of pay for things every now and then, tends to kind of dwindle off right in the 30 range. Their progression starts to slow down, and they start seeing they have to spend even more money to continue their progression forward at the pace they have been, and it can be incredibly frustrating for the player base because somebody who's 39 has spent $2,000 on the game, has such a huge advantage over a level 25 or level 26, and they could come in and wipe out your station and not even try. Maybe one or two hit your station with their 2 million enterprise, and it's like, okay, great, now I can just click miners and all this kind of stuff. And if they're not online to engage or anything like that, then there's no challenge in the game, and you're going to lose. What you're doing is you're going to eventually lose that customer base that has spent so much money. You're going to lose the middle class that spend money every now and then, and you are going to lose your free-to-play players. And you are stigmatizing, you are blood lossing right now your free-to-play players. Now, I'm hardcore. I like this game. I'm going to stick to it. The reason I play this game is for my alliance, but the longer that goes on, eventually it's like, okay, well, I just got to kind of stop, because look, it's taken me 2 months to get from level 26 to 27. I'm now looking at nearly triple that time to go from 27 to 28, and to stay on that nice even power curve with the rest of my community in server 32. I'm already behind in server 32. I know how that happened. It's because I'm grinding constantly to have to, and I don't have 24/7 to play this game. So understand something about the design of the game, and all that kind of stuff. Now, I want to go into more detail about the design of the game, but this video really is already long enough, so I'm going to leave it there. Next time, I want to kind of address the overall mechanics of the game and the design of the game, which, yes, I do have some criticisms for. But I want you to understand that, I'm sorry, I went on a completely wrong tangent there. Okay. What I will save that for another video. Okay. Maybe at a later time, if my alliance really likes this one. If this one does really well, I'll continue to do this sort of criticism. I'll might plug in my webcam or something and do the whole green screen thing, and maybe make it more personable and things like that, and continue to build the quality of my videos. And I hope that you guys find this information useful. Scopely, if you ever do see this, I hope you find that information useful. But it's going to be up to the community if they find this information in this video useful enough to share it to the point where you will see it. All right? Everybody in KFPA, I hope you guys have a good night. Stay safe. Dodge that COVID nonsense. And love you guys. I'm here if you have any questions about in-game purchases. As always, you guys have a good night.